Hello and welcome to my roundup of the best endurance road bikes you can buy in 2021. Endurance bikes are designed for comfort whilst retaining the speed and performance of a road race bike on which they're loosely based on. Common features on an endurance road bike include more relaxed geometry, lower gears, disc brakes, increased versatility like mudguard mounts and other features that separate them from road race bikes, which are all about speed and performance. And if you're in the market for an endurance road bike this year, there are loads of good choices, but I've picked just 15 to help narrow down your choice to some of the best endurance road bikes. And within this choice, the bikes do differ hugely. Some offer really wide tyre clearance, some offer more smoothness via suspension and other features, and some are focused on speed and low weight. So still plenty of choice even within this range of 15 bikes. I won't be talking about prices in this video because prices are likely to change during the course of the video being live, and also because the bikes here are offered in a wide range of prices. So from aluminium up to carbon fibre, wireless group sets to mechanical group sets. So within each range, there's plenty of choice to suit your budget. So my advice for you is to choose a bike that really works for you and ticks all the boxes you're looking for in an endurance road bike, and then decide on your budget and go out and shop for the best bike in that price range. The first bike on my list is the Specialized Roubaix. This is probably one of the smoothest riding endurance bikes you can currently buy. It's been through many changes in its lifetime since its first launch way back in about 2002, but the latest generation uses a very clever Future Shock, a suspension cartridge in the head tube, which really helps to dampen vibration coming through the front of the bike and into the handlebar. Over cobbles, rough roads and gravel, it is a really smooth bike and probably the smoothest front end of any endurance bike you can currently buy. That's matched to a new Pave seat post, which is encased in a wide diameter seat tube that allows much more flex at the seat post. So that combined with the Future Shock delivers a really smooth ride over rough roads. You have a lightweight carbon fibre frame that's aerodynamic and looks really smart. You only have space for up to a 32mm wide tyre though, and there are no mudguard mounts. The Trek Domane has been through many changes, but this latest generation is the most versatile and capable bike it's ever been. Firstly, you have the ISO-speed decoupler, a really neat mechanism in the top tube that separates the seat post from the frame, allowing the saddle to flex back and forth a lot more. You can adjust it as well with a slider in the mechanism to have it firmer or softer. And there's also an ISO-speed decoupler in the front end, a special stereo tube and headset spacer that allows a small range of flex. And then you have space for massive 38mm wide tyres, which is wider than all other endurance bikes on the market and really moves it closer to gravel bikes. So if you want an endurance bike for wide tyres for rough roads, but also some light gravel, this is definitely a contender. You also have lots of versatility with mudguard mounts and a down tube storage compartment, a compartment accessed via the bottle cage for putting your tools and snacks in there. So a really neat frame, but it's not the lightest in the world. The Giant Defy is a really good choice, first launched back in 2015 and been through a few updates since. It trades in suspension and other features for a really clever and advanced and simple carbon fibre layout and tube shapes that allow it to provide a smooth ride over rough roads. It is one of the first bikes to introduce the concept of a D-shaped seat post, which is now a common feature on many high-end endurance and road race bikes. So that D-shaped seat post and the drop rear stays allow the seat post to flex back and forth a lot more. There's space for up to a 35mm wide tyre, you've got mudguard mounts and it's disc brakes only as well, and the top end models have full internal cable routing. The Ribble Endurance SL and SLR offers really good value for money, and you can also customise the build on the company's website. Now, despite having endurance in the name, it's not a pure endurance bike. The geometry is more aggressive than most other endurance bikes in this category, leaning much closer to a road race bike. But that aside, you have features you want in an endurance road bike. The frame is aero optimised, but also designed to be as smooth as possible via special carbon fibre layout. Then you have space for wide tyres, and you also have mudguard mounts, which here in the UK is an essential in winter riding. The BMC RoadMachine is an interesting bike that leans closer to a road race bike than a pure endurance bike and replaces the old Gran Fondo. It tries to be one bike to do everything from high performance riding to endurance comfort focused riding. We have special tube shaping on the fork blades, the rear stays and a D-shaped seat post, and that along with 33mm wide tyre maximum clearance is designed to offer a smooth ride on rough roads. There's also integration of the cables on the top end models as well, so a very sleek and fast looking bike. But in my experience, it's not the smoothest operating endurance bike, but if you want a faster, edgier, performance focused ride whilst retaining that wide tyre clearance and more relaxed geometry, this is a good contender. The Cannondale Synapse has long been a popular endurance bike, and like the giant Defy, goes for a very clever and advanced carbon fibre layout and tube profiles in the fork blades and the rear stays to provide a vibration damping experience on rough roads. There's also a super skinny 25.4mm seat post and a special profile designed to provide more comfort at the saddle by allowing it to move back and forwards over rough roads. This focus on advanced carbon fibre layout helps the frame to be nice and light, and is one of the lighter options in the endurance road bike market. There's space for up to a 32mm wide tyre, you've got mudguard mounts, and of course it's disc brakes only. You might see my video on a long-term test of the Cannondale Synapse, link it above if you missed that. The Merida Scultura Endurance is a brand new bike from the largest bike company in the world and combines their Scultura race bike DNA into a new endurance focused bike. So it retains all the focus of that race bike but dials back the geometry, so it's more laid back and a bit more relaxed, and adds in wide tyre clearance and a disc brake only design. So there's space for up to a 35mm wide tyre, so you could go towards a gravel tyre for fast and light gravel use. And we have full internal cable routing and very clever leaf spring style rear stays designed to provide as much vibration damping as possible. And being a Merida, it's excellent value for money, it looks great, and we have some very unique cooling fins on the rear disc brake. The new Cervelo Caledonia launched last year is a really interesting take by the race-focused company on an endurance bike. One bike to do it all is the general idea here. So it seeks to offer some of the performance of their R series road race bikes with much more comfort and versatility for dealing with the general riding that many of us do with endurance road bikes. The Caledonia comes in two carbon versions, with the top end offering a full integrated internal cable front end for extra aero, and a bento box top tube mounts as well, mudguard mounts, 34mm wide tyre clearance, relaxed stable geometry, looks a really good option as well. The Canyon Endurace is the German company's endurance road bike, but it's not as relaxed and laid back in the geometry compared to many other endurance bikes in this category, and is much closer to a road race bike than any other bike in this video. That's great if you want an endurance bike for wide tyres and more comfort, but you don't want that super high relaxed position, you want something closer to a road race bike. The bike is showing its age, been around for quite a few years and hasn't been updated in quite a while, and it's showing the age in the lack of complex features you get on other bikes here, although you get a very neat split seat post that does offer very good seated comfort. Of course, being a Canyon is excellent value for money with a lot of equipment for your money. Orbea's top end endurance bike is the Orca OMR. They used to have a carbon fibre Avant endurance road bike many years ago, but they dropped that, and the Orca, which used to be their pure road race bike, has seen the range expand to include the OMR. The geometry is the same as their OMX, the race version of the Orca, so much racier than all the other endurance bikes here, so lower head tube, longer reach, and so on. But they've increased the tyre clearance up to 35mm, and they've added a new handlebar with 20mm rise to give a higher handlebar position, and a new seat post to offer more comfort. So very much a race-focused endurance bike if you want the extra comfort and wide tyres of an endurance bike, but you want the geometry and the fit of a road race bike. The new Orbea Avant is a brand new aluminium only endurance road bike designed to be more accessible and much more affordable. You might see my video review on it, linked above if you missed that. So it's an aluminium frame, full internal cable routing, which you don't often see at this price point, disc brakes on the top bikes and then rim brakes on the low bikes, mudguard mounts, space of wide tyre, a really good looking option if you're new to cycling and you want a more accessibly priced endurance bike. The Scott Addict is a family of bikes covering the RC road race bike on one side and the Addict endurance focused bike on the other side. So same name, but very different frames. Geometry is a big difference between the two bikes, with the Addict having a much more relaxed geometry, so higher stack, shorter reach for a more comfortable position on long rides. There's also space for wide tyres. 30mm tyres are fitted as standard, so not the most generous in the world, but most likely wide enough for most people. We've got a carbon fibre frame, with very neat details and Scott's usual attention to detail. While most of the bikes in this video are centered around an aluminium frame at the cheap end and carbon fiber at the mid to top end, but the frame sharing the same features, you choose a frame material based on your budget. In the Mason definition, we have a really good example of a high-end, premium, beautifully designed and finished aluminium endurance road bike. It shares all the same features as its steel resolution stablemate, so a 4-season bike, relaxed geometry, so more laid back than a road race bike, got space for wide tyres, even with mud guards, and even wider without mud guards, got rack mounts, just all the features you want in an endurance bike for touring, for audax, for winter riding, and for summer riding as well. There's a lot to be said for steel, and the Fairlight Strael is a really good example of a beautifully made Reynolds 853 steel frame with all the details you want in an endurance road bike. Exquisite details throughout, from the dropouts to the head tube, just stunning details on the bike. Maybe slightly biased as I have a Fairlight C-Can, link it above if you haven't seen that yet. We've got space for 30mm wide tyres with mud guards and lots of sensible details like an external seat clamp, external bottom bracket and external cable routing. Last but not least, titanium is a wonderful material for an endurance road bike, and the Enigma Etape is a really good example, which I recently reviewed, link above if you missed that. So titanium is an expensive choice, often pricier than steel, aluminium and even carbon fibre sometimes, but the ride quality is superb, has a wonderful ability to smooth out rough roads. It looks amazing and will last a lifetime as well. And the Etape is packed with all the details you want in an endurance road bike. So mudguard mounts, rack mounts, external cable routing, external bottom bracket, space for wide tyres with mudguards, and a relaxed geometry to give you more comfort on long rides. So a perfect 4-season road bike. That then has been my roundup of the best endurance road bikes in 2021. I'm sure there are loads of other bikes I could have included, so why not let me know which ones I missed in the comment section down below. That's all for now. If you enjoyed watching the video, hit the thumbs up like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and watch other videos floating around here. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'll see you all again next time. Thank you for watching.